Hi, and welcome to the Believe webinar. I am Nancy Picard, and I'm a Master Integrative Life Coach. And I am super excited to share this webinar with you that my team and I have put together. So if you haven't met me, there is one thing I really want you to know about me. I absolutely love supporting people who are motivated to improve their lives. And I guarantee this is going to be a life-changing experience. So let's get started. Self-esteem is how we view ourselves, our own value, and our sense of worthiness. And it's a critical component to our decision-making, risk-taking, and motivation. Those with lower self-esteem tend to believe they are not as worthy of things as others, such as achieving their personal goals. And while those with higher self-esteem embody more resiliency to overcome obstacles because they're sure they are worth the desirable outcome. So think of one thing that you value a lot. Let's just say it's gardening, for example. And you'll make sure that you put in the energy to keep your garden well watered and weeded. And you may even exert extra energy doing research about what plants will grow better in the environment and how you can ensure best growing conditions. Well, that's similar to self-esteem, except that it's yourself that you care for rather than the garden. A healthy self-esteem or value in oneself breeds confidence. And confidence being defined as a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. So you see where I'm getting with this? A lack in confidence keeps us from living our lives to the fullest. We become afraid to freely express ourselves, contribute our ideas, and even share our talents. When I first begin working with new clients, lack of confidence is something mentioned always on their part. And here are some benefits of becoming more confident: more happiness and enjoyment, less self-doubt and limitations, gains strength and capabilities, freedom from fear and anxiety, reduction in stress, natural motivation, and more attainable success. So are you interested to see how you can make this shift happen? Just stay tuned. How do you talk to yourself? Are you harsh and judgmental or supporting and loving? We all talk to ourselves, sometimes even out loud. I know I talk to myself a lot. And there are two distinguishable modes of talking to ourselves: instructional, like working through a task, and motivational, such as, I can do this. This motivational self-talk is closely related to our confidence levels and what we believe we are capable of. The Faculty of Physical Education and Sports Science at the University of Tehran in Iran conducted a study of how motivational self-talk improved basketball abilities. Over 150 students were involved, and the results concluded that positive self-talk and a can-do attitude improved their speed and accuracy immensely versus the control group. So believing and telling yourself that you are capable of a task, even a physical one, contributes to you excelling in it. Isn't that remarkable? Well, what happens when you don't talk so nicely to yourself? Talking negatively to yourself can have different outcomes, but all have one thing in common, and it's not productive. Negative self-talk can be fueled by a number of things. Some non-talking, non-productive outcomes include irrational beliefs about yourself, a bad mood that isn't addressed, persistent pessimism, being overly critical, fear and anxiety. These are all very real that most of us experience, but the trick is stopping them in their tracks. If we do not reinforce our negative beliefs, they have no power over us. So here are some examples of negative self-talk. I'm not worth it. There's no use. I can't do it. People won't like me. I am not enough. Others are better than me. My opinions don't matter. Nothing ever goes right. I'll never fit in. I need to stay quiet. My feelings don't matter. I must be perfect. Do not believe these things. They are wrong. Up next, I'm going to be sharing some examples of what you should be telling yourself instead. Our minds are powerful machines. The thoughts we produce can translate into action, and that's how we truly achieve greatness. However, if we are filling our minds with negative comments about ourselves and our circumstances, we are creating boundaries for ourselves that we otherwise would not need to overcome. Think of your mind as a computer. You must program it efficiently for it to run smoothly and complete its task. Your mind is the same way. So instead of the negative self-talk examples I listed before, try these instead. I can handle this. I am making progress. I am in control of this. I'm willing to try. I will eventually get it. I have many wonderful qualities. I do not need to compare myself to others. I am complete as I am. It's normal to feel this way. And one of my personal favorites is a quote from John Lennon. Everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. I also say to myself all the time, I love my awesomeness and I love my flossomeness. So do you have a favorite phrase that you like to tell yourself when you're presented with a struggle? Mantras and affirmations are two forms of self-talk that are used specifically to cultivate self-care. Much like the positive self-talk I mentioned before, their main purpose is to rewire your brain for a more confident and optimistic outlook. Mantras are either words or sounds in any language that involve a deeper focus, meditative state, or a calming emotion. Many of you may be familiar with the Om mantra, often practiced within the yoga community. The sound Om vibrates at a frequency which happens to be the same vibrational frequency found throughout everything in nature. This is why it's considered a sacred sound. On the other hand, affirmations were developed by neuroscientists in the 1970s with the goal of redirecting thought patterns. So these tend to be in complete sentences addressing something specific. And these are also performed out loud. So try saying some of these every morning, maybe even while you're looking at yourself in the mirror. And it's okay if it feels uncomfortable at first. That's the hallmark of the beginning of change. So here are some. I love who I have become. I let go of negative thoughts and feelings about myself. I am always growing and developing. My opinions resonate with who I am. I am whole and perfect the way I am. So both mantras and positive affirmations help with problem solving. They create inner clarity. They increase positive emotions. They increase the likelihood of personal success. And of course, they increase confidence. What are some of your favorite mantras or affirmations? Habits can either propel you in the direction of your goals or steer you off the path from them. Either way, they have a powerful contribution to the outcome. There are even many books written about it. One in particular is The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Specifically, it is a fantastic read on how everyday habits affect the way we see ourselves and our likeliness of achieving our goals. He delves into defining a keystone habit as powerful tools to uncovering your true potential. They are made successful by lending our focus to one centralized goal and then seeing other routines fall appropriately around them. For example, if you're determined to develop a daily exercise routine, it's likely you'll notice that you're also eating healthier, waking up earlier, and utilizing your time more efficiently. So whatever your desired keystone habit may be, the idea is that working towards it will create a ripple effect in changing other routines in your life. Duhigg says, if you believe you can change, if you make it a habit, the change becomes real. And this is the real power of habit. So what's a habit that you're looking to implement? All successful people have one unifying characteristic. They set goals for themselves. Naturally, we're inclined to do what has always worked for us. Therefore, when we set goals and succeed, we're more likely to continue that habit. This is also a huge personal development exercise. Just like anything else you want to get good at, practice is everything. Practicing setting goals for yourself and working towards them helps you recognize your potential and thus strengthening your confidence in yourself. Here are a few tips to be sure you get the most out of goal setting. 1 is take small steps. 2 is create a timeline. Be specific, measurable. 3 is give yourself credit along the way. Even small steps, be your own cheerleader. And 4, accept that failure is not a reason to give up. In our ever-connected world, solitude has become a dying art. We always have some way to get in contact with others. That isn't a bad thing, but it most certainly can take away from your relationships with yourself. A few of the benefits of being your own best friend include cultivation of self-awareness, ability to support and comfort yourself, increased acceptance of yourself rather than punishment, realization that you are fundamentally worthy. Think of how you treat your best friend. Isn't that how you deserve to be treated too? Spending time alone doing things that make you happy is a great practice to add into your life. And whether it's reading a good book or strolling in nature, the possibilities for entertainment alone are endless and beneficial. What are some of the things that you love to do alone? Stress is unavoidable, but managing it is one of the most important ways of respecting yourself. And meditation is just one way you can do that. Meditation works by directing your body's attention to the parasympathetic nervous system, better known as the home to the relaxation response. It triggers feelings of calmness and well-being, all the while contributing to clarity against the limiting beliefs that we may have about ourselves. Meditation can be used as an incredible tool for confidence building in several ways. It helps you confront the negative beliefs that you've created about yourself. It invites the opportunity to spend quality time with yourself and can become a beneficial habit added into your day. Meditation can be self-guided, or you can use a mantra or an affirmation. It can be led by an instructor, and you can find many meditations online. Journaling is not only for creative purposes, but for emotional health as well. Keep a journal around for times that you're feeling truly stuck on something, bringing you down, or even when you accomplish something you want to celebrate. Both situations can equally serve its purpose of boosting your self-confidence. Writing out negative experiences is a tactile way of getting them out of your head and toward a more constructive solution. Maintaining a gratitude or awesomeness journal puts you in the position of recognizing all the good about yourself and life on a day-to-day basis. Whether it's written in a physical notebook or on an online platform or typed on the notes section of your phone, you can start at any time. I use an app called Penzu. It syncs with my phone and my computer so I can use it whenever and wherever. Up next, I'm going to be sharing some practical journal prompts to get you motivated. So as promised, here are some fun journal prompts to help boost self-confidence, practice self-love, and begin your writing journey. These are just a series of questions you can journal about, or you can think of your own. So let's see. What are you grateful for? What do you feel? What do you want to feel tomorrow? What did surprise you this week? What are you really good at? What would your best friend describe you as? What makes you unique? Who appreciates you? What will you accomplish in the next year? What will you accomplish in the next 5 years? What is the best compliment you ever received? What emotions do you associate with confidence? When have you been courageous in your life? What risks have you taken in your life? And what was the outcome of taking those risks? Or write a letter to your body thanking it for all it does for you. While we're on the subject of journaling, an effective way to really check in with yourself and to establish the motivation to reach your goals is to write a letter to your future self. This can be a very insightful experience. It puts you in the now and represents the things you want to make sure you remember. So imagine writing a letter addressed to yourself and you're going to read it 5 years from now. What would you say? What kinds of questions would you ask your future self? What goals would you have hoped you've achieved already? And as you begin to write your letter, this will make you think of the actions that you can take now to ensure that that letter is relevant in the future. So write it up with pen and paper, seal it in an envelope, and keep it in a safe place. And alternatively, you can use a site like www.futureme.org, where you can choose when the letter will be sent to your email at a later time. So who's willing to try this? A visual representation of your goals, values, and passions is a great addition to your living space. A vision board, in particular, can be used to motivate you, cultivate gratitude, and express your creativity. So here's how. Define your intentions. What do you want? How do you want to be feeling? What is it that you feel you need? Gather your supplies of choice. You can use a poster board or even just a blank sheet of paper. And then find images that resonate with your intentions from the internet or magazines or any other source you find useful. And then create. Make sure to create a mix of words and images that fit the qualifying theme of your vision. And then put them down in a way that makes you feel good. And then just glue away. And then place it in an area in your home where you're going to see it often. I have one in my bathroom, and I have one in my bathroom in my other home as well. So everyone's will look completely different, and that's the point. This is your vision. A strong support system is an important tool to have when life gets a bit heavy. As mentioned before, building your self-confidence is a progress and truly not a linear experience. Some days you're going to feel better than others. Some days you will be able to find solace alone, and other days you'll be longing for external support. All of that is okay. There is no substitute for having people you can trust and rely on making you feel good. Turn to family and friends when you need to talk, rather than getting caught in the dread negative self-talk loop I talked about earlier. Friends and family can lift your spirits and help you recognize the faulty beliefs that you're manifesting about yourself in trying times. So far, we've discussed how to cultivate greatness for ourselves with how we think, reach for our goals, and who we surround ourselves with. But there's more. The way we present ourselves not only are indicators of our confidence, but also a way to strengthen it. We have all heard, when you look good, you feel good. But have you heard of power poses? Power poses are simply the body language we embody when interacting with people that emulates and creates confidence. You need to exude confidence from the inside out. Have a positive self-talk and then walk that talk when you go out in the world. You will mirror that confidence to people that you come in contact with. This is by far the most important part of the process. Some days you will feel more confident in others, but it's a huge feat to love yourself despite it all. You are perfect just the way you are. Even when you aren't feeling it, you deserve to be loved, and you sure should remind yourself of that regularly. Everyone has different ways of expressing their love to themselves. Here are a few that I do. Take a long bath and put flowers and essence in the water. Go for a beautiful hike or walk in nature. Go to the beach and walk. Cuddle up in bed late one morning. Make plans with friends. Unplug for a weekend. Visit my favorite coffee shop. Or plan an adventure. These are only a fraction of the many things you can do to show yourself that you are loved. Maybe you want to cultivate a sense of joy. You'll want to include images and words that make you feel joyful. Or maybe it's security. If that's the case, you want to collect things that make you feel safe. Whatever your goal may be, keep in mind you are making this for you. What ways do you show yourself that you love yourself? So here are some of my favorite quotes that I've collected. Pick your favorite and post it somewhere to go back to for a reminder. So here we go. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. That was Buddha. A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. Mark Twain. Remember always that you not only have the right to be an individual, you have an obligation to be one. Eleanor Roosevelt. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Why should we worry about what others think of us? Do we have more confidence in their opinions than we do our own? Brigham Young. Too many people overvalue what they are not and undervalue what they are. Malcolm Forbes. You've been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. Louise Hay. To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. Oscar Wilde. And no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Eleanor Roosevelt. So thank you for sharing this with me. I love sharing this topic with people who are eager to take control of their life and achieve greatness. And then don't forget to thank yourself for loving yourself enough to take time to do this. I love to end my webinars with an invitation for a free discovery session to see if one-on-one coaching is for you. And in addition, I want to offer 2 more sessions for the price of 1. So I hope you'll take advantage of this offer, and I promise you that coaching will make you feel better about yourself, you'll have more direction, and you'll have specific tools to help you from continuing with that self-sabotage. So this is my email, my website, my Facebook, and my Instagram. And feel free to email me with any questions or any comments about what came up for you today. And I just want to tell you how grateful I am that you made it and listened to my webinar. And I truly support all of the support. So thank you and have a great day.